Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on an absolutely gorgeous day out on the peninsula. We are not on the campus of UMass Boston, but we might as well should be. We're on the campus of BC High, the UMass Boston Beacons home field, Cotter Field, and their home opener in the 2022 campaign. The Beacons look to defend their LEC conference and get it for a second straight year, and they have a fairly tough test in front of them this afternoon in the form of the Lasell University Lasers. Good afternoon, Lacrosse fans. My name is Chris Del Sordo, back in the press box for another Beacons athletics contest, and today it is lacrosse. The Beacons 2-0 in this young season, two impressive road wins to get the season started. Lasell, a much different story, a first-year head coach for them, and they've stumbled out of the gates. Their most recent game, a heartbreaking loss that they lost in the final seconds to St. Mary's in upstate New York, moving them to 0-3 on the season. So it's two teams moving in two different directions. But if you want to look at the team stats, honestly, when you break it down, these two teams not all that far apart from each other. The Beacons mustering up a little bit more offense, averaging scoring 29 goals, 14.5 goals per game. A little bit different for Lasell University, averaging just around 9 goals per contest. The Beacons have played close in both of their wins. Their first game was a 1-point win on the road at Nichols College. More recently, though, a much more comfortable win at Roger Williams University on the road in Bristol, which was a different story. Same couldn't be said for the Lasers. 18-14, Beacons were the victors in a high-scoring game that saw the Beacons score 8 goals in the fourth and final period. For Lasell, they traveled to Roger Williams last week, 1 week ago, and they lost 16-6. So if common opponents could say anything, well, things look good for the Beacons. We have more to get into in this contest. We're still about 11 minutes away from opening face-off. So in the meantime, we have some highlights for you. Last time the Beacons took the field here at Cotter Field was a good game. They won the LEC championship over WestCon. Let's run the highlights for you right now and remind you what happened the last time the Beacons took the field here at Cotter Field.
Trying to beat Greenman to the game.
Let's see, let's go!
And a score here for UMass Boston. Jason Whitlock. All day!
Ready? Little East Conference Championship Tournament Most Outstanding Player Award is presented to UMass Boston's number 8 junior Gavin Asbury.
It was an oh happy day just about 10 months ago here on Cotter Field as the Beacons took home that LEC championship with that exciting 1-goal win. We'll take another 14-13 win today, but I think the Beacons want this one to be stretched out a little bit further. Before we get into the game today, we just looked behind us. Let's take a look ahead and see what's going on in the Beacon athletic world. So on March 12th, that's coming up this weekend, it's Lacrosse game against University of New England. That's this Saturday at 1 p.m. Come join me again for the call for that contest right here on beaconsathletics.com. Then we'll start off next week, another home game against Southwestern U. That's actually, no, pardon me. Team's going to take a spring break trip to Georgetown, Texas. I misread that, so that's where that game is going to be held. And then 2 days after that, another game in that Georgetown, Texas tournament against Hendrix College. The game on the 15th, you can watch that one at 8 p.m. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so 7 Central. And then the game on the 17th, you can watch that at 7 p.m. 6 Central. And we're getting close to opening face-off here. We are about 5 minutes away. Here's one of the players that you are going to be hearing his name quite a bit in the form of number 20, Michael Claflin. Michael, the team leading goal scorer on the season, 7 goals across just two games. And the most impressive part of that feat, he actually started this season on the bench, kind of earning his way back into the starting lineup after a pretty solid junior season. Didn't start the first game, but deposited a couple of goals, exploded in the game against Roger Williams, and he leads the team with 7 goals. He is a 5'10" senior. He can play both midfield and on the attack. I'm assuming we're going to see him do a lot of both today, and the team's leading goal scorer, a lot of offense rolls through him. He has 11 points on the season. If it's not going to be Michael Claflin, you will hear me call Derek Fahey's name quite a bit. He's right behind Michael in terms of total points. He has 10 points on 5 goals and 5 assists. And just like Claflin, he plays both attack and midfield. You'll see Fahey trend more towards the attack, Claflin more towards midfield, but they can play each other's role, and they do it quite well. Couple of big-time players to watch over on this Lasell Laser team as well, including the impressive freshman, number 23, Adam Haytayan. He is 6'7". You did not hear that wrong. He's 6'7". You can see him from all the way up in the press box, towering over all of the other Lasers. He has 1 goal in each of his first 2 collegiate games. And the most talented player on the Lasers offense, another freshman in the form of number 27, Ryan Stone. He leads all Lasers with 6 points on 4 goals and 2 assists. So Adam Haytayan, Ryan Stone, numbers 23 and 27 respectively. 2 big members of the Lasers attack that the Beacons will need to lock in if they want to escape Cotter Field with the win today. We have the whole starting lineups. Let's run through them for you. First, for the visiting Lasers of Lasell University. Tyler Rose, he's a 5'11 senior out of Springfield, Massachusetts. Where's number 2? He will be a starter on the defensive end. The starting long stick midi today, Kyle Charlotte. Where's number 3? He stands 6 foot tall. He's from the Cape, resident of Harwich, Massachusetts, in his junior year. On the attack for Lasell, number 5, Bash Cunningham. He stands 6'2", out of Norwalk, Connecticut. He is a senior. Another senior in the form of midfielder David Burke, standing 6'1" from Cohasset, Massachusetts. He wears number 7. The starting goalie today, it's a little bit of a change of direction for the Lasers, as they will call on Liam Hill. He has played in 1/2 of the 6 halves of action for the Lasers so far this season, and played pretty admirably. He's spelling Alex Beauchamon today, who has been the starter for all 3 Laser losses. In Liam Hill's 15 minutes of action, he has allowed 5 goals, but he's going to get to try to knock those numbers back down a little bit towards the Mendoza line here with his start today. We'll keep going down through the Lasers lineup. Number 10, Matt Barron will also be a starting defenseman. He is a senior, standing 6 foot tall from Newington, Connecticut. I just mentioned Adam Hayte, and he's a 6'7" freshman attack out of Waltham, Massachusetts. The senior face-off specialist, Stephen Phelps, wearing number 26, so he will start the game in the circle for the Lasers out of Stamford, Connecticut. Ryan Stone, going to have to look out for him on the attack for the Lasers, standing 5'9", a freshman out of Granby, Connecticut. And Magnus Leonard, the final starter for the Lasers, a 6'2" junior defenseman out of Marshfield, Massachusetts. All right, now we'll bring it back over to the starting lineup for the Beacons. Remember, 2-0 on this young season. They escaped Nichols College with a 1-point win before a more convincing win at Roger Williams earlier this week. Gavin Admirand is going to be a starting midfielder today, standing 6 foot tall. He is a senior. Where's number 8 out of Marshfield, Massachusetts? Jack Ranta, the starting long stick midi, a 5'8" senior out of Newton, Mass. He wears number 13. Patrick Carey gets the start on the defensive end, a stalwart for the Beacons, a 6 foot junior out of North Andover, Massachusetts, number 15. Right next to Patrick Carey, another Patrick C in the form of Patrick Coburn. He is a 6'3" junior out of Walpole, Massachusetts, number 17 in your programs. Michael Claflin, can't say enough about him. The offense, it goes as he goes. 5'10" senior out of Newton, Massachusetts, went to Newton North High School. He wears number 20. Trevor Copy off to a great start this season in net for the Beacons. He starts again in goal today. The goalie standing 5'11", just 165. Not the biggest goalie. Sometimes you see some size on the frames in college lacrosse, but Trevor off to a great start. 2 starts, 2 wins. A 47 save percentage. He's made 16 saves on the season with a goals allowed average under 12. Obviously, that's the goal today. You want to keep that number under 12, maybe bring it down even more. Shane McGonigal getting the start, the true freshman in the midfield out of Haverhill, Massachusetts. And real quick, I don't want to misspeak here. Let me just check the stat sheet real quick. Yeah, first career start for number 25. Justin McCullough, the sophomore long stick midi, he will get the start back there, standing 5'10", wearing number 26 from Waltham, Massachusetts. On the attack, Greg Wolf, number 41, an up-and-coming sophomore out of Kingston, Mass., standing 6'1". Jack Dobrinsky, you cannot beat that man in the face-off circle. That is going to be a tough task for Stephen Phelps of Lasell today. It's Jack Dobrinsky in the face-off circle. He's a grad student out of West Greenwich, Rhode Island, standing 5'10". And number 55, if you keep Michael Claflin down, you also have to worry about Darek Fahey, a 6-foot attackman from Walpole, Massachusetts, in his senior year. So one more time, for the Lasers of Lasell University, the starting 10, Rose, Charlotte, Cunningham, Burke, Hill is in goal, Barron, Haytayan, Phelps, Stone, and Leonard. And for the Beacons, it's Admirand, Ranta, Carey, Colburn, Claflin, Trevor Copy in goal, Shane McGonigal, Justin McCullough, Greg Wolf, Jack Dobrinsky, and Darek Fahey. Our referees are taking the field. Both teams are taking the field. The Beacons in their home whites kind of have a stormtrooper look going for them. White helmets, white jerseys, white shorts with black trim. Lasell, very clean jerseys for them as well. They are wearing their road navies, and they have a Carolina blue helmet with a Carolina blue lettering and numerals and some white trim on those jerseys. So at the very least, two good-looking lacrosse teams taking the field today. We're going to go through the final friendlies here. I want to say introductions, but let's see if everyone matches. There's the handshake right there. So we were about to be underway as the goalies head to their nets. We'll take 1 second and we'll get the action started right after this on the Beacons Broadcasting Network on LEC TV. So here we go. Steven Phelps for the Lasers, lining up across from Jack Dobrinsky for the Beacons. Referees in place. First quarter clock is wound to 15 minutes. And here we go. We are underway. Dobrinsky, as expected, wins it backwards. Running over, trying to make the play on it is Fahey. He can't control the ball, and it is still a loose ground ball. Finally, it is going to be a call against Lasell. They will have to concede it to the Beacons. So, one face-off win for the Beacons, and now we are underway. Fahey starts right around midfield as the Beacons slowly maneuvering their way into the offensive zone. Offside rush in on the play from number 5, Luke Murphy. He'll circle it back out. It goes all the way back to Derek Fahey. So instead of attack position, he starts around the midfield. He fakes that right-handed shot before circling back. The Beacons offense resets. One step in for Murphy before he goes back to Fahey. Fahey, some trouble controlling it. He has to race it to the line. He can't get to it at time, and that's going to be a turnover in the offensive end for the Beacons as they get today started. Basically, here's how this works with racing the ball to the line. If you lose possession of it like that, and you can't get to the ball before it goes out of bounds, it is off you. However, if your teammate misses a shot and you are the first player to get to the end line out of bounds closest to the ball, you retain possession. So that is an unforced error, really times 2 for Fahey and the Beacons, and now they give it back to Lasell with attack on their mind. Zach Mills, he subbed in on the fly for the Beacons. And already a penalty against the play, so we have a penalty in waiting right now as a member of the Beacons has to run off. And we're playing at even strength right now, but once this play gets blown dead, it will be a man-up possession for the Lasers. They can't capitalize there as Adam Hayte camped out in front of the net loses possession of the ball. But Lasell will have the first man-up opportunity. And let's take a look. The guilty party for the Beacons is number 7, Matt Palin. Or pardon me, no, that's going to be on Derek Fahey. So I saw Palin come off. He got subbed on the fly. Fahey kneeling in the sin bin. He commits the penalty. And now the Lasers of Lasell University, in the opening minute or two of this game, playing with a man up. Starting with it for the Lasers, Ryan Stone. He's the team's leading scorer, and he just passes it right out of bounds. I'm not sure if the whistle blew before that play got started. That looks to be what happened, because I would not have expected Ryan Stone to just pass that ball right out of bounds. And so, we'll get a reset. Once again, Ryan Stone heads back to the referee. Right along the face of the goal line here as he takes a couple of steps in from out of bounds, and we are back underway. Stone this time, he'll curl back inside and cradle it himself, running behind the face of the goal, circling the goal crease, going to fire an angled shot hard, and he misses off the face of the net. Closest to the ball on the play is Bash Cunningham. He'll pick it up, and right back underway with a man up are the Lasers. 47 seconds left in the penalty on to Fahey. Lasers playing a man up. David Burke faked the left-handed shot. He spins it back all the way back to the long stick midi, Jordan Hines. The back end of the Lasers offense. Lasers fronting 6 right now, not bringing the extra man as they have the advantage with Fahey on the bench. That shot just misses the left post by David Burke, but the Beacons win the race to the ball, and back the other way go the Beacons, down a man. Let's see, the penalty's over right now. Coming onto the field for the Beacons, Donovan Przinski, he of 2 goals scored on the season, and now the Beacons will reset their attack around midfield. Przinski gets the handoff. Surveys the scene here as his brother-in-arms, Zach Mann, comes on to run this midfield shift offensively. Mann wings it down to the corner in the direction of Greg Wolf. Now Wolf, cradling it in his left hand. He spins back to open up the left-handed shot. Nothing there. He resets, getting fronted by Kyle Charlotte, the long stick midi, who can cover a lot of ground for the Lasers. They go back in the direction of Evan Toombley. Toombley running in, fronting the right-handed shot. Or pardon me, no, that's number 10, Joe Myers. Myers with a goal already this season. He spins back, fakes the left-handed shot, using the body to get down low, goes for the low-angled shot, had something there, but he misses just wide. 2 Beacons closest to the ball, and it's going to be number 8, Gavin Admirand, picking it up and restarting the attack for the Beaks. Admirand, 4 goals and an assist on the season. He hands the ball off to Zach Mann. Once again, Mann doing a lot of the quarterbacking on these offensive set for the Beacons in the early going. Gets pushed off the ball by Kyle Charlotte, who's going to have his work cut out for him today, all the way across field to Michael Claflin. 7 goals already on the season for the senior. He goes behind the net, fakes the wrap shot, now goes to the low wrap shot, and that hits off the leg of Kyle Charlotte. And giving chase is a Laser. I'm not quite sure what the official decision is there. No worries about the shot clock, so no. It is a shot out of bounds by the Beacons. Lasers get to it first, and we will go back the other way. We're still scoreless 3 minutes and 15 seconds into the first quarter here. One penalty. It's been a 1 minute man up for Lasell, and that's really all we've had so far. Well, take a look at this. Liam Hill has come all the way out to about the 30-yard line of the football field, trying to advance that attack, maybe open up a crease for Lasell on the dive. He finally hands it off to Zach Mills, and Mills, who has been the quarterbacking midfielder for Lasell up to this point in the contest, takes aim and decides to reverse field. Saving the day is Kyle Charlotte, as he was one of the players holding behind the midfield line on the defensive end. Now a slip on the play means that it will be an offside. Too many players back across the center field line for Lasell, and picking it up, wasting no time, is Zach Mann. Once again, switching from right hand to the left-handed cradle before he goes back to his right-handed shot, sends it in, and wow, that ball goes right through the teeth of the Beacons offense. It was Elijah Beasley camped out near the net. He couldn't catch it, but goalie Liam Hill, the true freshman, calmly just plucks it out of the sky, hands it off to Tyler Rose, and here comes Lasell back the other way. Kind of a rather tepid approach here in the early going of this contest. Both teams feeling each other out. First quarter, that's the time to do that, see what you're going to get. And I'm not quite sure. We might not be done seeing Liam Hill ball carry and cradle all the way out into the offensive zone again. With it is Ryan Stone. They wing it all the way across the perimeter. Jordan Hines gets it right in the center of the field. He drops the ball. It's picked up, and now on the run is Michael Claflin, the talented midfielder with a lot of room. Let's see. Fakes the pass. Now gives it. Oh, behind the back. A beautiful goal to get the scoring started, and it's Gavin Admiran, the first goal for the Beacons this afternoon. Claflin, the absolute beauty of the assist, as he picks it up at around the 30-yard line of the football field, runs it 40 yards, gets it over to Admiran, who goes behind the back for his 5th goal of the season, and the Beacons take a 1-0 lead. So Claflin gets the assist for the Beaks. He had, I believe, just one heading into action. No, he had 4, so that's his 5th assist. Michael Claflin leading the team now, 12 points on the season. Gavin Admiran, his 5th goal, and the Beacons lead 1-0. Right back on it after they win the faceoff here. With the puck, that's Michael Claflin again. He'll swing it back in the direction of Derek Fahey. Fahey's been on the bench since committing that foul in the very opening minutes of this game, but he reverses court and gets it back to Chad Kidd. Kidd almost loses control of it, takes it across the 30-yard line to reset the clock. And now the Beacons stacking up an offensive attack here. 5 in the offensive zone. Charging in with it is Luke Murphy, starting midfielder for the Beaks. They reverse course, go back to Fahey. He has the right-handed shot. He fakes in on the left. Goes right back to his right hand, and he almost crept that one inside the goal line. Instead, the angle works for the goalie Liam Hill, and he reverses court, and going back the other way are the Lasers. Long stick midi giving it a run is Matt Barron. Got all the way into the offensive zone before getting dispossessed, and it is out of bounds on him. A little ambitious there by Matt Barron, but now the Beacons with a 1-goal lead. 6 minutes into this contest, back on the offensive charge. Pretty clean game so far. We haven't had any face-off violations. We've only had 1 penalty. That's Chad Kidd trying to get it out of trouble. Slips it over to Donovan Przinski in the attack man. Out of Ashland, Massachusetts, just kind of jogs it all the way back behind the net. And now Gavin Admiran, that's where he can do his damage. Slots it all the way back out in the Beacons. I don't know if they like that look. They're going to change their personnel. Entering the offensive attack going to be Joe Myers. He gets the ball, reverses court to Donovan Przinski. Here's Przinski. He has an angle with the right-handed shot. He almost gets inside the crease and pings. That one hit the frame of the goal. Lucky break there for goaltender Liam Hill, because Przinski, I think he might have hesitated a split second too long there. The angle closed, and he pinged. He hit the top corner of the goal frame. Couldn't find the net. Oh, what a pretty finish. You know who does find the net? That is Joe Myers, hopping right back in and getting the 2nd goal of the afternoon for the Beaks. They take a 2-0 lead. It's just like that. The Lasers probably thought that they had a good stop, maybe figured the Beacons would reset their offense, and instead Myers just kind of got to waltz in. You didn't think the angle was there. He made the angle work. Finishes, he beats Liam Hill, and now Liam Hill, the freshman, has a little bit of a mountain to climb. We are 6.5 minutes into this contest, 8:25 left on the clock in this first quarter. Beacons up 2-0. And that is our first face-off violation. It is committed by the Beacons. Dobrinsky went on to the other side of the field, and so now here is Lasell down 2-0. just trying to bring some ground back here. They were the team of the first 3 minutes in this game. They kind of held the competitive edge, and for the past 7 minutes, it's been all Beaks. Here's David Burke, veteran midfielder for the Lasers, stopping around the 30, reverses court to Jordan Hines. Hines up at the top of this Lasers offense. Back to Burke. Burke going to take a couple of steps in, fires, and that ball deflected in front. It got underneath the goal stick of Trevor Coppy, and that is a goal for the Lasers. They bring it back to within 1. Score is 2-1. David Burke got to walk right into that one. He finishes. And we're back to a 1-goal game. So it goes with college lacrosse. You think that, hey, we just scooped up all the momentum. Everybody was where they were supposed to be, and nobody really accounted for Burke strongly enough there. He got enough room, took a shot in, kind of got deflected in front. It's going to be his goal. It even hit the stick of Trevor Coppy and then got through underneath him. So the Beacons lead the Lasers now 2-1. Gavin Admiran got us started. Joe Myers, the second goal of the afternoon, and now David Burke, the first goal of the contest for Lasell. 7 minutes, 38 seconds on a running clock left here in the first quarter. And the handoff from Michael Claflin, who set up the first goal to Gavin Admiran, gets it all the way inside to Colin Ford. A buddy of ours on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, Colin out there, hands the pass off to Donovan Przinski. Przinski almost got a goal on that angle charge last time. Instead, hands it off behind the net. With it, I believe that's Gavin Admiran, looking for a cutter, still has it with the left-handed cradle. Admiran looks for the shot. Oh, it gets blocked by the long stick midi Magnus Leonard. He got there in time. The goalie was out of position, and the defender made the play, keeping this a 2-1 game. Admiran vying for his second goal of the afternoon. Almost had it, but the score remains 2-1. Man of the hour there, Magnus Leonard. They give him the lane. Oh, wow, beautiful defensive play, but then Gavin Admiran, he could not cross the midfield line because he's playing pure attack right now. Leonard had something there, and Admiran, he's known for his offense, saving the day to dispossess him. Lasers still with the ball, and it's Anthony DeRosa, team's second leading goal scorer, 3 goals on the season. He gives it all the way back behind the net to Ryan Stone. Around the perimeter they go. Burke, Stone, DeRosa, team's 3 leading goal scorers. Burke has one this afternoon, and he has it again out on the left wing, working on Ford. Ford holds him back. Good stop. They have to go back to Jordan Hines. Now Hines, little dipsy-do around the man defense, fires a shot. Good save on the play by Trevor Coppy, but closest to the ball is Ryan Stone, and so the Lasers keep it in the offensive end. We're 9 minutes into this first quarter. A little more defense than we probably anticipated. Beacons leading 2-1. The Lasers with a sustained possession in their offensive zone. With it, number 15, Anthony DeRosa. 3 goals already on the season. Haven't heard much from him this afternoon. He goes behind the net to Ryan Stone. Stone, 6 points on the year for the Lasers. Burke, he just scored. He faked the shot. He gets it again on the left wing. Rips a shot, and that just misses the net. About 4 inches wide on the high right corner. But once again, Ryan Stone, right where you need him. He's closest to the ball. He will take it to the corner and reset the offense for the Lasers. Once again, as the Lasers do, they're just going to run this through Jordan Hines. He's camping out there right around the 30-yard line in between the 2 hashes of the football field. Anthony DeRosa, not much going there on the ISO attempt from the wing. Now they'll go all the way back past, let the long stick midi take a rip from the perimeter, bash Cunningham. Actually, Cunningham playing the true attack position today, and I believe, noise coming from the Beacons bench right there is I originally thought it looked like Lasell figured that it was their ball on a shot out of bounds, but I believe that there might be a different call here. No, we're just going back on the other side. So Ryan Stone ultimately will go back to the ball and reset the offense for the Lasers. 5 minutes, 32 seconds left here in the first quarter. Fun contest. Beacons lead 2-1. Okay, so it was a penalty, on the Beacons, called against number 15, Patrick Carey, one of the starting defenders. A full minute penalty, so 2 penalties committed in this contest, both full minute penalties against the Beaks, the first by Derek Fahey, and now Patrick Carey. And it opens up the lane for David Burke, vying for his second goal. The save is made, but it frees up DeRosa, and that shot is blocked in front. I'm not quite sure if Patrick Colburn blocked it with his body or with his stick, but he did what he needed to do. Ball ultimately goes out of bounds, and a brilliant defensive stand for the Beacons, down 1 man, forcing the turnover. So now it's Michael Claflin. You give it to your best ball handler, and you let him just try to run the clock out. He gets dispossessed. That is going to be a penalty against Kyle Charlotte, who had been really, swimming upstream this entire game as he has been the man charged with defending the two high-flying attackmen. It's not going to be a penalty, just a ward. So the ball will stay with the Beacons. They just reset their offensive front. They're still down a man right now. Beacons have yet to score a goal with a man down this season. Lasell does have one goal with a man down, but the Beacons have taken advantage of their man-up opportunities, scoring on 50% of their man-up possessions. They've scored on 7 of their 14 man-up ops. Right now, just trying to kill that time with a man down, and they do successfully kill the penalty. So now going to work is Donovan Przinski. Finds himself free. Good save on the play by Liam Hill. He shuts down that top left corner. Beacons regain possession. We are under the 4-minute 15-second mark right now here in this first quarter. And going to work is Charlie Chapman, spinning, creating some room. He wants to get a shot off. Instead, that pass just sailed on him a little bit. It was intended for Gavin Admirand. I think Chapman got a little bit ahead of himself there. Nothing doing. It will be a shot out of bounds. So nice thinking at the last second by the midfielder, keeping possession with the Beacons. Individual attempt there by Greg Wolf as he thought he had something. He was able to split right through the middle of the defense. Shoots high over the net, but once again, here's Gavin Admirand starting the show behind the net. He fakes the left-handed shot. Defender breaks his stick. This should be a goal for the Beacons. It is a goal for the Beacons, and it's Michael Claflin scoring his 8th goal of the season. For the first goal, it was Admirand setting up Claflin. This time, it's Claflin from Admirand, and the Beacons are up 3-1. Now that all happened because the defender on the play, Magnus Leonard, who has already made a couple of big plays for the Lasers this afternoon, he broke his stick trying to defend Admirand. Gavin saw that, knew that the Beacons were sitting pretty, just distributed it over to Claflin. Nobody could play defense on him, and he deposits, and the Beacons back up by 2. They lead 3-1. 3 minutes, 48 seconds left in the first quarter. This was a game that the Beacons came into wanting to win. You never expect to win a game this early in the season, but smooth sailing right now. They win a face-off again, reset their offense, and you got to think they can put their stamp on the early moments of this game if they get another goal here. Long stick midi Jack Ranta entering the action before heading back to midfield. That pass almost got away from Claflin, but it's reeled in by Greg Wolf. Here's Wolf. He slashed into the that set up the goal 2 possessions ago, shoots that one right into the goalie, Liam Hill. You know, it's not the coldest day for Lacrosse, but it's not warm outside. That one's going to sting a little bit as Liam Hill, not the biggest guy, he wore that one right on the shins. That ball goes out of bounds off of the Lasers. It stays with UMass Boston as we are nearing the 3-minute mark left in the first quarter. Beacons 3, Lasers 1. Derek Fahey working on the left wing. Keeps the left-handed shot available before switching back to the right cradle and reversing course. Chad Kidd with a running start now. Gets inside the first level of the Lasers defense, loses his footing, picks the ball back up, and now the Beacons have something. Low shot, score, and it's Michael Claflin again. 2 goals in a 1-minute span, this time off the work from Chad Kidd. Beautiful assist on the play by Kidd. He lost his footing. He knew that would open up some space. Quickly got it to Claflin, who scores his 9th goal of the season, and the Beaks take a 3-goal lead. They did exactly what they needed to do. They lead 4-1. Scoring got started with Gavin Admirand about 4 minutes into the contest, his 5th goal of the season from Michael Claflin. Then Joe Myers. I'm not sure if it was an unassisted goal or who got the assist, but that made it 2-0 for the Beacons. David Burke scored the 3rd goal of the contest, scored it for Lasell, making it 2-1 Beaks, but then 2 straight goals from Michael Claflin. The first off a Gavin Admirand assist, the second from Chad Kidd, and the Beacons leading 4-1 with the ball again. All the momentum in the corner of the Beaks. Speaking of momentum, rolling with it right now physically is Zach Mann. He's been slicing through the first level of the Lasers defense a lot this first quarter. He hands it off to Gavin Admirand. Oh, that's a player unmarked, and he found him. It was Donovan Przinski. Przinski can't get the shot on net. He takes a spill and a whack. The ball is still loose. Greg Wolf aiding efforts on that play, and picking it up is Zach Mann. Mann picking up right where he left off, puts his head down, spins, has an open net, and a beautiful save by Liam Hill. How about that? The ball loose in front. He gets some help from Kyle Charlotte, but ultimately Liam Hill picks it up, and they've tested this true freshman a lot today. He has answered the bell, but I believe he just turned the ball over. Can't have that. He had a player wide open streaking down the middle of the field after a beautiful save, and a lax pass just turns it over. A relaxed pass. Can't do that here in a lacrosse game, but the relaxed pass and the turnover, and that's one thing Lasell needs to cut down if they want to get back into this contest, are the unforced errors. Here's Claflin, already with 2. working. Right-handed cradle. Oh, and wow, just a change-up shot and goal, and the natural hat trick. 3 straight goals for Michael Claflin, and this one unassisted, his 10th of the season. I think every player on Lasell, including their starting goalie, Liam Hill, figured that Claflin was driving in to distribute a pass out there, and no, he just kind of floated a change-up right over the shoulder of Hill. Nothing Liam Hill could do. Michael Claflin, the 4th goal of this contest, the 5th goal of this contest, and now the 6th goal of this contest, and the Beacons lead by 4, their largest of the afternoon. They're up 5-1. Well, this must be pleasant for all the Lacrosse fans rejoining us here at Cotter Field, and that was Jason McNeely winning the faceoff for the Beacons, so now everybody having some fun here. He takes the role of Jack Dobrinsky and earned it and won the faceoff. And so now the Beacons are just rolling here with 1:20 left to go in the first quarter, leading 5-1, looking to add to it. Derek Fahey, haven't heard much out of him. Whips a shot in, right-handed shot. He faked the lefty cradle to the right-handed shot. It goes wide, but the Beacons, the first 2 there. And the Beaks will almost be able to wind this shot clock down to the end of the quarter. I don't think that's what they have on their agenda right now, though. Here's Greg Wolf. Left-handed pass out all the way to the top in the form of Charlie Chapman. Chapman really good with a head full of steam. Has Wolf right in the middle. Wolf can't get that shot off. He's a left-handed shot. He couldn't get it free. Coming in and fighting for the ball is Gavin Admiran, and he will get called for a crease violation, so possession does go back to the Lasers. This is the first time Lasell has had the ball in about 3 minutes of action. The last time they had it, Liam Hill made a beautiful save, and then he just threw the ball away. And so you got to think David Burke, he feels very comfortable with the ball in his hands. He's probably going to wind a lot of this first quarter clock down so the Lasers can say that they had the last look on net. Goes all the way back to the top of the offensive zone to Anthony DeRosa. Right back to Jordan Hines. A little 2-man game. All the way back over to Burke. Burke has scored the lone goal of this afternoon for the Lasers. Nothing there for him on that left-handed shot. That pass fumbled and almost kicked out of bounds on the play by Ryan Stone. Haven't heard a lot out of Ryan Stone either as he retreats all the way behind the net. Jordan Hines by himself now, getting fronted by Patrick Carey. Works it for a right-handed shot, skips it wide. That one went low, and it got past Copy on the play, but it goes out of bounds, leaving just 8 seconds left in this first corner. They go all the way back out to Jordan Hines. It's going to set up a wing look for DeRosa. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. He can't get the shot off in time, and that will do it for quarter number 1. An impressive quarter, a 5-goal quarter, and the Beacons sitting pretty 15 minutes into this contest. Through 1 quarter at Cotter Field, the UMass Boston Beacons 5, the Lasell University Lasers 1. We'll be back with more lacrosse right after this. About to get started with quarter number 2 here at Cotter Field. Beacons currently up 5-1. A great start in the first quarter at home for the Beacons in this 2022 campaign. A little bit of a schedule oddity for the Beacons this year. 17 regular season games, 10 of them are on the road, 7 at home. So only 7 home games at Cotter Field this year. And the Beacons taking advantage of their 7 home games this season with a hot start. 5-1 is the score. Michael Claflin, 3 of the 5 Beacons goals. Joe Myers, Gavin Admirand with the other 2. And David Burke, the lone goal scorer for the Lasers. We'll switch directions now. Lasell working left to right on your computer screen, and it's David Burke with the ball for the Lasers. Flips the pass over to Adam Hayte, and our first chance getting to see him with it working on the wing. He's normally camped right out in front of the goal. Little 2-man game between him and Ryan Stone. They go all the way back out to David Burke, who as expected, finds Jordan Hines. He has the ball in his hands a lot for this Lasers offense. He goes down low. They have a man in the lower slot for Anthony DeRosa. He loses his footing. Great play by the Beacons on defense there, and Patrick Colburn getting that ball out of trouble. Big, long stick, very solid handler with the ball inside his cradle. He gets it out of trouble, and now the Beacons working back upfield. Having to reach up and haul that one in is Gil Delvi, and he still has it as the Beacons take it into the offensive zone. Delvi seeing action in his second contest for the Beacons this afternoon. He hands the pass off to, Luke Murphy. Murphy driving shot in. Good save by Liam Hill. So after a rough first quarter for Hill, he makes a big save there, and here comes David Burke, head full of steam, taking on two Beacons defenders, gets dispossessed, ball on the ground, chopping away for it. It's still loose. Haytayan, 6'7", he uses that big reach. He has it, but he's stuck deep in the corner, and he turns it over. Beautiful read on the pass by that's number 30. I didn't quite catch the number on that on the interception. 21. I was reading 31. That's Trevor Coppy just plucked that pass and got that ball out of harm's way. Lasell does get to reset their offense, fresh 80 on the shot clock, and Jordan Hines takes the handoff from Bash Cunningham. They look across the left wing. There's a man unmarked. This offensive possession developed quickly for the Lasers. Haytayan had a shot on net in front. He drops the ball. It's picked up and taken out of trouble by Patrick Carey. Now, Carey took a bad penalty earlier in the first quarter, but that was a very heady play. And now with a head full of steam, it's Zach Mann. Slides the pass over to Peter Young. Back to the slot and ripping a shot and scoring is the defender, Patrick Carey. He started that possession scooping that ball out of trouble. He goes to the offensive zone as one of the defenders that comes along. They slide the pass back to him. And how about Patrick Carey finding some twine for his first goal and his second point of the season? Give the assist to Matt Palin on the Beacons' offensive attack. How about that? So that's Matt Palin's first assist of the year. It's Patrick Carey's first goal of the year, and the Beacons a 5-goal lead. They're up 6-1. So Michael Claflin, he kind of took over the end of that first quarter, but that was a couple of defensive contributors for the Beacons leading to that goal, and everything coming up UMass Boston right now as they lead 6-1. Robert Sprague, athletic play, keeping that one in for the Beaks as Gavin Admiran tucked deep in the corner. He keeps it alive, and now if he can beat his mark, he has a one-on-one with the goal. Spin, he does get around the goalie, and he just misses the shot. That was well planned out by Admiran. Shot misses just low. Giving chase on the play is Michael Claflin. He gets to it first, and he already has a hat trick today. He will restart the Beacons offense. Decides to go all the way back to Charlie Chapman, playing in the defensive zone today with the midfielder's stick. Oh, that is just a beautiful play set up by Chad Kidd for his second goal of the afternoon, his second assist of the afternoon. It's the second goal of the afternoon for Gavin Admiran. Kidd took on all comers. He drew a couple of extra defenders on his mark, slid the pass over to Gavin Admiran, his 6th goal of the season, his second today, and Chad Kidd, have yourself a 2-assist contest. Beacons are running away with this game. It is 7-1. We're just 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. That was pretty to watch. You saw Chad Kidd with a head full of steam. The last time he set up a goal, it was because he fell. This time it was because he just took on all comers, and then Gavin Admiran was just unmarked, standing right next to the left goal post. Michael Claflin, he wants to keep the momentum going, rips a shot that is hauled in by Liam Hill. Liam Hill has allowed 7 goals this afternoon, but has also shown some flashes. And we've seen him do a little bit of ball handling here. This time he finds DeRosa on the seam. DeRosa slides the pass over, and not ready for the shot was Bash Cunningham. The goalie, Liam Hill, almost had himself a secondary assist on the play, but instead, now the Beacons have the unbalanced field working left to right, and moving ahead with it is Elijah Beasley. The Beaks looking to extend their 6-goal lead. A wind and fire from the left wing. Patrick Carey looking to get his second goal of the afternoon. He misses wide left, and he'll take that steady jog back to play defense. I think that's where Coach Lau wants to see him back there anyway, but he's got a goal already, and when you can smell the twine, you're going to keep trying to score. Gavin Admiran, he has 2 goals already this contest. With a goal here, he can be the second Beacon with a hat trick already this afternoon. Chapman forcing the issue. Shot deflects off a laser, but it goes right back to Derek Fahey, who goes to Admiran, who does get the second hat trick. Admiran's 3rd goal of the afternoon, his 7th goal of the season. That comes from Derek Fahey. That's his first point of the afternoon. And the Beacons just flipped the switch on, and now everything working for them. It's the usual suspects for the most part, but it's Gavin Admirand from Derek Fahey. 2 hat tricks for the Beaks today. Claflin with 3, Admirand with 3. Other 2 goal scorers up to this point, Joe Myers, he scored the second goal of the afternoon, and the defender, Patrick Carey, ripped one from the wing. And it's just hey, listen, 3rd game of the season, already with 2 wins under your belt, and now you can break it in with a nice showing at home. Really, I think the Beacons, they're not going to take their foot off the gas anytime soon. This might be an offensive barrage through this period and through the 3rd period before we finally start maybe seeing some bench players come in and see some action. Colin Ford almost threaded a pass through that Lasers defense looking for Jack Ranta. Ranta not normally sitting on the goal mouth there. He couldn't corral the pass, but the Beaks at this point just having fun. They have some long stick middies playing attack right now. You have a couple of attack men looking to be in the defensive zone, and it's early in the contest for that, but if you want to, test out everybody's positional flexibility, this is a time to do it, up 8-1. This is really just the 3rd sustained offensive possession of the second quarter for the Lasers. And as they usually do, they get it to Jordan Hines and have him direct traffic. He hands it off to David Burke, who scored the one and only goal for the Lasers this afternoon. That pass over, to a wide-open Anthony DeRosa. He had a lane on the net. He missed the shot wide. Great play on defense there by Tyler Rose, and he looks ahead to Patrick Colburn, who gives it to Patrick Carey, who already has a goal this afternoon. He fakes the shot, slides it over to Otto Kierlees. Kierlees down low to Wolf. Here's Greg Wolf behind the left wing, spinning on his mark. Tyler Rose gets past him, got a shot off while falling to the ground, and it doesn't do much. I believe it hit a foot of a Laser, but giving chase in the play, Patrick Carey, and I believe he's allowed to go back in the defensive zone, so he keeps it alive for the Beacons. Patrick Carey, one heck of an afternoon for the Beaks, the junior out of North Andover, Mass, throwing the body around, winning the ball in midfield, and even a goal to his name. Beacons leading 8-1. And here's Michael Claflin, already with 3 goals, cradling the ball behind the net. Swings it over to Gavin Admirand, also with a hat trick. Around the horn they go. Przinski handed it off. It goes back to Zach Mann. Mann fakes the right-handed shot, takes the ward, slides the pass over to Claflin. Claflin all the way across the field, winding, firing with a shot as Colin Ford misses just to the left, but next closest to the ball is Claflin. So once again, from his sweet spot in that back corner, that back right corner, Michael Claflin will reset the Beacons offense. 6 minutes into the second quarter, Beaks already leading 8-1. Claflin, cross field. Low shot sent in there by Greg Wolf. I think Wolf might have felt a little left out of the scoring run. He has 3 goals already this season. Forced a shot there. That one missed low. And the Lasers closest to the ball. So possession turns over. One of the few unforced errors of the past 10 minutes. Speaking of unforced errors, I thought the Lasers just committed one right there, but it will be a foul against Matt Palin. So the Lasers will keep possession. Both teams with substitutes waiting. David Burke takes it across the line for the Lasers. And now a foul called against the Beacons. I think a player got lost in where he was supposed to be on the field. Too many in the box. So now the Beacons just want to commit the penalty so they can wind the clock on the extra man opportunity. But instead, it's going to be David Burke out here. And the Lasers, knowing that they'll get a man up whenever this play stops, they can really just sell out to try and get a shot on goal. Nate Whitehead, our first look at him, the attacker out of Massachusetts. He slides it all the way back over to Ryan Stone. Once again, Ryan Stone, 4 goals on the season. We've really only seen him with the ball behind the net. He hasn't been able to manufacture much from back there. Bash Cunningham. Right-handed pass over to Hines. Jordan Hines fakes, goes back to his left-handed shot. Wow, brilliant play. Keeping it alive is David Burke with a one-handed catch. Now the ball all the way back over to Nate Whitehead on the left wing. That shot, I don't know if it got deflected in front. Not 100% power. It misses wide left. And now the Beacons will have to serve that penalty that was thrown on them. I believe the guilty party is number 17, Patrick Coburn, but we're going to have to wait and see for sure as we are doing a wholesale substitution for the Beaks. So the Beacons playing a man down for the 3rd time today. That David Burke goal was scored on one of the 2 man-up opportunities. So that's really the one thing the Beacons haven't done yet today is force a penalty against Lasell. This is their 3rd different man-down possession. Burke scored on the first man-up opportunity for Lasell. The Beacons did kill off that last man-up opportunity. Okay, it's going to be 60 minutes with a man-up for the Lasell Lasers. Good thing is they currently trail your UMass Boston Beacons by 7, the count 8-1. Waiting for the go-ahead deep in the corner is number 27, Ryan Stone. That's his sweet spot, right there in the back right corner behind the net. So it's just going to be a 30-second penalty against the Beaks. And it looks like it's going to be served by Gavin Admiran. So Gavin playing attack. He's going to sit this one out. Handed off the responsibility to his defensive teammates here. Giving chase is Patrick Carey. Lasers with a man up. Ball in the hand of Anthony DeRosa. The left-handed pass that scurries off towards midfield. And I believe that's just going to be an over and back turnover. So the Beacons, they catch a break there. And now, this is only a 30-second penalty. So the Beacons just going to have to run around for a couple more seconds. And they'll be back at even strength. It looks like Greg Wolf wants to take care of that himself as he works back towards the middle of the field. And I believe ultimately will draw a foul against Lasell right in front of his own sideline. We have a timeout. So the Beacons, they do kill off that penalty. We are back to even strength lacrosse. We are just past the halfway mark of the second quarter. 5 first-quarter goal for the Beaks, 3 more here in the second period, and an 8-1 lead. They're taking a quick break on the field. We'll take a quick break in the press box. Right back to Cotter Field with more after this. We're back underway here at Cotter Field. It's even strength lacrosse. The Beacons up comfortably right now, 8-1. With the ball in his hands, number 5, Donovan Przinski. He's yet to score, but he's been pushing the issue all afternoon for the Beaks. He slides the ball over to Luke Murphy. Murphy gives it back to Przinski, sliding it all the way across to Zach Mann, who gets it out to Michael Claflin. Claflin, 3 goals already this afternoon. He gets cut off on the play. Good angle defense from Kyle Charlotte, who has had his hands full all afternoon for the Lasers. Back over to Przinski they go. And once again, the Beacons now just working the deep areas around the perimeter, trying to find a crack in the middle of the defense. Murphy slides the pass over. That one was intended for Przinski. Little miscommunication there. The Lasers force the turnover. And coming back the other way, Magnus Leonard, who, in spite of the Beacons' 8 goals up to this point, having himself a nice defensive afternoon. It looked like Patrick Carey got hit from behind on that. He wasn't expecting it. Loses the ball, and just like that, 2 unforced turnovers, one from Lasell, one from the Beaks, about 10 seconds apart. Now here's Kyle Charlotte in unfamiliar territory, his normal defensive positioning. He does end up losing the ball. Trying to pick it up and run was Patrick Colburn. He can't do it, and now it is just a pile-up right in front of the Lasers bench. Ball slides back across midfield, back to the Lasers defense, and that's ultimately Casey Hart saving the day for the Lasers. Now he gets the ball up to Zach Mills, and here comes Mills. Thought twice about continuing on with that attack. He will reset, and here's Bash Cunningham. Cunningham back to DeRosa. Anthony DeRosa has had the ball in his hands quite a bit this afternoon. DeRosa, a 6-foot sophomore out of Hudson, New Hampshire. He's manned up on the play by Luke Murphy. Now a little 2-man game between DeRosa and Hines before they try out the left slot in the direction of David Burke. Burke, the lone goal scorer for the Lasers this afternoon. He retreats all the way back to center field, and now Jordan Hines, with a tight man front by Patrick Carey, he can't get around him at all. He has to go all the way behind the net to Ryan Stone. Stone was looking for a cutting Cunningham. Cunningham can't get the shot off, but back to reset the possession is DeRosa. I think DeRosa might want to do something himself here as he's fronted by Carey. Number 15 on number 15, but DeRosa retreats. The Lasers reset, and here's Burke. Burke charging through. Has a pass, has a shot, and that's a goal for Ryan Stone. Couldn't keep Ryan Stone down that long. He was the team's leading goal scorer. He had 4 goals already before this game started. That's his 5th goal of the season. And David Burke, with the 1 goal scored for the Lasers up to this point, he gets the assist. The Lasers break a long scoreless drought. They had gone about 16 minutes without finding Twine. They do there, and it's Ryan Stone with the goal, breaking a run of 6 straight Beacons goals. Beacons still up 8-2, and they win the faceoff, so I believe they're going to try and keep it rolling. Just a little chink in the armor for the Beacons here as they are leading comfortably with 4:40 left to go here in the first quarter. Gavin Admiran, he's been playing comfortably. He already has 3 goals, including a very nifty behind-the-back finish. He reverses court, and the ball finds Charlie Chapman. Chapman, little juke move there. He can't get around Brendan Johnson, but he does with the spin. Has a player open in the middle, and that was Claflin who charged in. The pass doesn't find Claflin, and I don't know, Fahey just wasn't really in it for that. The ball was right there rolling out to him. Instead of picking it up, it goes back across, and Fahey going to drop back and play midfield now. Haven't seen him on the attack that much. Not the cleanest game for Derek, who we expected him to put up, multiple points this afternoon. He does have an assist. There's Adam Haytayan. He's big, he's strong, and he worked in open space right in front of the net for himself, and that is the 2nd straight goal for the Lasers. The first of the game, the 3rd of the season for the true freshman, Adam Haytayan, and the Lasers now 2 straight goals. They are back to within 5. Lasers 3, Beacons 8. So 2 straight goals. Remember, it was the Beacons scoring 6 straight here. Lacrosse can tend to be a game of runs, and so a very timely 2 goals out of Ryan Stone and Adam Haytayan, 2 true freshmen for the Lasers. The last 2 goals in this contest. Now the Lasers, they might be feeling it a little bit. They do win a faceoff. They haven't won too many of those. The Beacons, up until that faceoff, had won 10 of 12. That's just the 3rd faceoff win for the Lasers. Attempting to go all the way in for the solo goal was David Burke. Save made by Trevor Coppy. He has not been tested much this afternoon for the Beaks. Pass goes over to Matt Palin. Palin will take it across the timeline himself. He has a 2-man game there with Elijah Beasley if he wants it. Palin resets and goes deep into the corner in the direction of Michael Claflin. 3.5 minutes left to go in this first half. Beacons leading 8-3, but the last 2 goals have been scored by Lasell University. Here comes Donovan Przinski. Fakes the behind-the-back shot, keeps it in his right-handed cradle, reverses court to Elijah Beasley. Have seen Beasley a bit more here in the second quarter. Didn't see a lot of action in quarter number 1. He walks it back to Joe Myers. Myers, he scored very early on in this contest. One of 4 goal scorers so far for the Beaks. Tries to force that near-angle shot, and he got it past Liam Hill somehow. It goes out of bounds. Ball stays with the Beaks. Almost his 4th goal of the afternoon. Reversing course are the Beaks. Donovan Przinski has been running the offense from that quarterback point quite a bit this second quarter. Hands it off to Myers. Back to Przinski. Across field to Zach Mann. Mann got it on net. Save made by Hill, and the ball picked up there by a Lasers defender, but knocked free by Gavin Admiran, who's keeping it in the offensive zone himself. Ultimately, it's Donovan Przinski who gets the ball. And now unmarked Michael Claflin. He fakes the windup in the right-handed shot. Oh, he faked the pass, and he almost beat the Lasell defender, but it's ultimately picked up by David Burke, running back out of dodge. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left in the second quarter. Beacons leading by 5. UMass Boston up 8-3. But here's David Burke. He has a goal. He has an assist. And the Lasers have the last 2 goals in this contest, trying to chip away at this big Beacons lead. Another goal here would give them a huge chunk of momentum heading into the locker room. 2 minutes left in this second quarter as that's Nate Whitehead back up top to Jordan Hines. Hines back to Whitehead. Nothing out there. They're just running a 2-man game very far away from the net. Whitehead ultimately goes to Stone behind the net. Stone scored the Lasers' 2nd goal of this contest. He goes all the way back to Hines. We haven't seen a lot of offense out of Hines yet. but he has been directing traffic. He goes back to Bash Cunningham. Quick bobble, he picks it back up, goes to Hines. Shot clock running down quickly on the Lasers. They haven't gotten anything on frame. They only have 23 seconds remaining. That pass deflected, and that goes through a bunch of bodies before, I believe, a ward going to be called against the Beaks. So that's a bad penalty because it keeps the ball with the Lasers, and they'll have possession behind the net as they reset their offense. That looked to be a ball for the Beacons to have, but a ward is basically pushing a player who is not engaged with the ball at all. You can't do that. You can physically move anybody when they have the ball, but that looks to be what the call is, and untimely call against the Beaks. It will be a 30-second penalty against Luke Murphy. And now the Lasers trying to tighten up that 5-goal margin. They almost do right there, but that shot goes wide. Not wasting any time, here's Ryan Stone, 56 on the shot clock, as he surveys the scene as the Lasers try to reset their offense for one more look. Once again, Luke Murphy in the sin bin right now for the Beaks. 4 penalties committed in this game already by the Beacons. They're leading 8-3 in spite of that. Killed 2 of the 3 Lasers penalties. Beacons have not had a man-up opportunity at all, so the Lasers playing very clean lacrosse here. David Burke, he's got a goal and an assist today. Fakes the cradle, goes through everybody in a kick save on the play by Trevor Coppy, but how about big Adam Haytayan right there? He picked up the kick save and shovels it in for his 2nd goal in a row. His 2nd goal of the afternoon, his 4th goal of the season, his 2nd goal in a row. And the Lasers now, 3 straight goals, and with 53 seconds left in the 2nd quarter, they're back in it. It was 8-1. At one point, the Beacons went on a streak of 3 straight Michael Claflin goals, a Patrick Carey goal, and 2 Gavin Admiran goals. That got the game up to 8-1. It looked like this one was almost all over. The Lasers, they bend, they haven't broken. Ryan Stone scored, and then 2 straight goals by Adam Haytayan, and the Lasers back to within 4. Here's Jack Dobrinsky. He won the faceoff. He was trying to get it himself with the goal there. He does get dispossessed. That tends to happen when you have a faceoff specialist taking it into the offensive zone. And Robert Sprague having to chase a long way to reset the Beacons' defense. Timeout called by the Lasers as they have the ball and 32 seconds left. They're going to try and set up a play to make this a 3-goal game. What was once what looked to be the early stages of a Beacon blowout is now a game that is back in the balance. They'll take a quick break, so we will as well. 32.2 seconds left here in the 2nd quarter. Beacons lead 8-4. 32 seconds left and the clock is running as the Lasers do have the ball, trailing your Beacons by 4, but on a 3-goal streak. The Beacons at one point were up 8-1, 3 unanswered from the Lasers, and exactly what they couldn't afford, a lax pass. The ball was turned over, and now the Beacons, one last offensive possession, 20 seconds on a running clock. It's Elijah Beasley. He'll take it across the timeline. Beasley, right-handed cradle. The Beacons will call a timeout, and that is exactly what Lasell could not afford. All the momentum was theirs, and they just threw the ball away. So now the Beacons take a timeout, 13.5 seconds left, and they have a chance to make this a 5-goal game again. If you're just tuning in, at one point, this game looked to have been decided. It has since come to the balance. Gavin Admiran scored the game's first goal on an assist from Michael Claflin, making it 1-0. And then Joe Myers followed that up with an unassisted goal right after, making the lead 2-0 Beaks. David Burke answered for the Lasell Lasers with a goal midway through the first quarter, making it 2-1. And then it was 3 straight goals from Michael Claflin. He got himself a natural hat trick, an assist from Gavin Admirand on the first goal, making it 3-1. An assist from Chad Kidd on the second goal, making it 4-1. And then he scored unassisted, making the lead 5-1. Patrick Carey, yes, the defender, Patrick Carey, ripped one on an assist from Matt Palin to stretch the lead to 6-1. And then 2 more Gavin Admirand goals. The second of his with an assist from Chad Kidd, the third with an assist from Derek Fahey, getting him a hat trick and making the lead 8-1. But then 3 straight laser goals. Ryan Stone scored from David Burke, making it 8-2, and 2 straight Adam Haytayan goals right in front of the net has made this an 8-4 game. There's 13 and a half seconds left. The Beacons are breaking huddle from timeout right now. With the ball is Derek Fahey, and he goes to work. 10 seconds on a running clock. Fakes the right-handed shot. Spins. Has the ball in the left-handed cradle. 6 seconds. 5. Fakes the pass to the middle. Now has the pass to the middle. Ripping is Chapman. That shot is blocked on the play by number 11. That is Zach Mills putting his body on the line for the Lasers. He is stoked as he makes his way back to the Lasell University bench. The Beacons drew up a good play. They had a chance, and Chapman's shot from the slot gets blocked. But the Beacons still in a very good spot right now at halftime. Our score, the UMass Boston Beacons 8, the Lasell University Lasers 4. We'll take a quick break and have the halftime numbers when we come back after this. Members of both teams taking the field here at Cotter Field. It's a 4-goal lead for the Beacons. At one point, it was a 7-goal lead, but as we start half number 2, as we start quarter number 3, the Beacons still sitting pretty, leading Lasell University 8-4. The Beacons outscoring the Lasers 8-4, out-assisting the Lasers 6-2. 30 shots fired by the Beacons in that first half to just 14 shot by Lasell. And number 44, Jack Dobrinsky, wins the faceoff for the Beacons, so they will start the second half with the ball in their possession. Lasell, the only team with an extra man opportunity. They had 5, and they did score on one of those 5. The Beacons yet to play a man up. 8 saves made from Lasell goalie Liam Hill. Trevor Coppy had to make just 3. Beacons have won 17 ground balls to Lasell's 10, and they have won 13 of the 16 faceoffs this afternoon. Beacons with the ball and the lead, but not with the momentum. And unfortunately, with a pass like that, out of bounds, ball going back to the Lasers, going to be hard to maintain that with a play like that. So if you're just tuning in, Beacons scored the first 2 goals. 1 goal answered from the Lasers, making it 2-1. Then 6 straight Beacons goals made it 8-1 before Ryan Stone and Adam Haytayan twice got the Lasers back. We have an injured Laser on the field, and saw a man take a shot and go down hard there, and that might be number 16, Jordan Hines. We'll keep you updated on Hines' condition. It's not 16, I'm sorry. So we see him on the training table. He's all right. He's with the trainers, but he's getting tended to on the training table. So when we can get you an update on that Lasell Laser player, we will. Lasell forces the unforced error turnover from the Beacons. Now they have the ball and the momentum, and with it is Tyler Rose. And Tyler Rose is unchecked, and a great save by Trevor Coppy at the last second. There's going to be a crease violation against Lasell, so the Beacons are going to be able to reset comfortably and get it out of the defensive zone. Trevor Coppy, he only had to make 3 saves up to this point in the contest. That was his 4th, and that was a big one because Tyler Rose, the defender for the Lasers, a senior defender out of Springfield, Mass., was coming with a head full of steam, and he ripped one. Looking to go top left corner. Save was made on the play by Coppy, but that crease violation is not going to be against the Lasers. It's going to benefit them. Penalty called against the Beacons. The 6th penalty committed by the Beaks this afternoon. Lasell has yet to have been called for one. This time, Greg Wolf is the guilty party serving the penalty for the Beaks. And Lasell, once again, they were catching no breaks at the end of the first quarter, at the beginning of the second quarter, and now everything is going their way. Jordan Hines across the horn to David Burke. Burke charging in, fakes the left-handed shot, now ducks underneath, and a save made by Coppy. Yes, he's able to cut off the angle as Burke almost had him beat with a low shot through the legs, but Coppy, he just had to make 3 saves in the first half. Saves number 4 and 5, huge in this contest, and now the Beacons, they turn it right back over at midfield as Patrick Carey could not hold on to that pass, and Casey Hart picked it up going the other way for Lasell. He got it over to David Burke, and now here's Burke, one of the 2 quarterbacks of this Lasell offense alongside Jordan Hines, waiting patiently around the football field's 30-yard line deep on the left wing. He goes back to Brendan Johnson. We expected more out of Johnson. Haven't gotten to call his name all that much for the Lasers. That's a ripped shot from Bash Cunningham. He misses everything wide. First to the ball is Ryan Stone. So the score's still 8-4, 2 minutes into this game's third quarter. A game which looked to be all Beacons and is now come back down to reality for them quite a bit. As Lasell, 3 straight goals, they've continued the momentum, and I'm going to keep bringing that up because that is the second time I have talked about now this is Lasell's game in this second half, and another unforced error, this time Bash Cunningham, the guilty party, just throwing a would-be pass out of bounds. Luke Murphy gets past the charge of the Lasell defense, and now working one-on-one, just trying to break this scoreless drought for the Beacons that has stretched about 7 minutes of game time now. Their last goal coming with about 5 minutes left in that second quarter. Elijah Beasley comes off. He makes way for Michael Claflin. Claflin gets the pass from Przinski. He has it in the deep corner now. Reverses field to Chad Kidd. Kidd has 2 assists already this afternoon. It's going to be his show right at the top of the crease. He stops direction. He changes course. Gets it off to Zach Mann. Mann getting directed by Przinski. Now slides a pass over to Greg Wolf. Wolf just committed a penalty that the Beacons were able to kill off. Let's see if he can atone for it. Lefty scoop shot goes right into the body of Liam Hill, who has now made 10 saves this afternoon. Double-digit saves for the true freshman. This is his first collegiate start, and he has allowed 8 goals, but he has answered the bell countless times for the Lasers this afternoon. Magnus Leonard taking on all comers, and he finally gets dispossessed by Donovan Przinski, and now the Beacons had a 2-on-1, and Greg Wolf could not catch the pass. Oh, that would have been nothing but a juicy scoring opportunity as Greg Wolf and Michael Claflin worked themselves up to a 2-on-1, but that pass from Przinski just out of reach of Wolf, and now another turnover. That pass intercepted by Zach Mann. Here comes Claflin, fakes the pass, now slides the pass, and 2 Beacons run into each other's path. And you can tell that we are still early on in the season because there are some communication errors that are unacceptable. 2 plays that didn't even lead into shooting opportunities, let alone scoring opportunities. They didn't even warrant a shot. And now the Beacons and the Lasers, both teams, really trying to rediscover themselves in the opening minutes of this third quarter. David Burke, I think he asked for the substitution there. What they want to do is really reset the direction of the offense. So he will run to the midfield, get it over to Anthony DeRosa, who works by himself on the left wing. DeRosa, a strong, powerful right-handed shot. He's in his sophomore year. Yet to score today, team's second leading goal scorer with 3 goals to his name on the campaign. Nate Whitehead charging through. That ball gets through to Trevor Coppy. He makes the save, his third already. He had just 3 in the first 2 quarters. He has 3 in the first 4.5 minutes of this third quarter. Matt Palin trying to cut through the teeth of the Lasers midfield defense, spins, and he gets past Jordan Hines. Still some work to do to get it into the offensive zone, but he does that ultimately, getting it to Gavin Admirand. Now, Admirand, a very good first and second quarter. Haven't said his name all that much here in the third quarter. We're 5 minutes into quarter number 3. No goals yet. This is kind of like the way our first quarter got started. It took a minute to break the seal, but then once we did, it was goals galore. Here's Charlie Chapman, takes the pass from Joe Myers, slides it over to Donovan Przinski. Przinski working on Tyler Rose, looks for the pass center, gets it, shot, score, and it's Joe Myers, his second goal of the afternoon, off the pass from Przinski. That was a beautiful job by Przinski, luring that Lasers defense deep and just sagging off enough to let Myers catch it and rip it. And number 10 finds the twine. The Beacons finally break that little 10-minute scoreless drought that they were working on as Myers, his second goal of the afternoon on the dish from Przinski, and the Beacons are up 9-4. Gotta think that's exactly what Coach Lau wanted. Spirits couldn't have been higher after the Beacons worked the lead up to 8-1, but then you could feel it going into the locker room. Those 3 straight goals from Lasell, and they worked the 2 big defensive stops with under 30 seconds left. It was a slow first 5 minutes, but that was a big play from Joe Myers. He's a grad student out of Carmel, New York, answering the bell this afternoon. Working behind the net is Gavin Admirand. 3 goals already. We already have 2 hat tricks. If Myers can get a third goal, that makes it 3 Beacons with Hatties. It's always a fun afternoon. Fahey, spinning. Duroc Fahey, still working with it. He has had Kyle Charlotte as a personal shadow of his all day. So decides to spread it out. Here's Gil Del Valle, slides a pass over, shot, scores, and it's Gavin Admirand, goal number 4 of the afternoon. And how about Gil Del Valle coming on, creating some space on the wing? He slides the path underneath to Admirand, who scores his 4th goal of the afternoon, his 8th goal of the season. First assist of the year for Del Valle. And now the Beacons, they did what they needed to do. They got their land legs back under them. 2 straight goals, and Beacons double digits now, leading 10-4. Nice to see, too, that those offensive looks were spurred from the good goaltending play of Trevor Coppy. There were 3 different instances where Lasell was staring down a wide-open goal mouth, and Coppy made the save. Was able to not allow any Lasers goals in the early going, and then 2 quick trigger Beacons goals. And we have a third right here. There's Fahey running through the teeth of the defense, and he shoots and scores. He's a right-handed shot, but he can shoot rather ambidextrously. He goes with the high right-handed release, tickles the twine. That's his first goal of the afternoon, his 2nd point, and give it to Duroc Fahey unassisted. The Beacons score 3 straight, and now they are back on top, tied for their largest lead of the game, which is 7. They are up 11-4. Well, now we're getting a really good spread on the scoring. Claflin with 3 goals. Admirand with 4 goals. Fahey with the goal. Joe Myers with 2. Patrick Carey with 1. A good even scoring distribution. And now the Beacons back in control of this contest. And do they force another turnover here? That was number 27, Ryan Stone, almost out of bounds. That's right in front of the Beacons bench. And yes, they do force the turnover. With the ball in his stick, Patrick Colburn. He'll hand it off to Elijah Beasley. Beasley across the timeline to Patrick Carey. And the Beacons, now they smell blood. 3 straight goals in the past minute and a half. Pass rather wild there around midfield. Colin Ford doing all that he can to keep it in possession of the Beacons, but he can't cross that center line. And ultimately, Brendan Johnston gets it out of harm's way for Lasell. A nifty pass. I don't want to say careless. It wasn't careless. It wasn't smart, though, because it led to a turnover for the Lasers in midfield. And now here's Jacob Banks. Left-handed cradle. All the way through the defense. Shot on net. He misses off the left post. Liam Hill had that angle cut off. Nice charging attempt there from Jacob Banks. Haven't called his name all that much, but the sophomore out of Westminster, Mass. picked up that around midfield and got a shot opportunity on it. Liam Hill has been busy this afternoon. 11 goals for the Beacons, 11 saves for Liam Hill, and then countless other shots that did not come to the goal frame. But he's had himself a nice afternoon, has the true freshman out of Sandown, New Hampshire. Another midfield turnover. Here come the Beaks. Head full of steam for Elijah Beasley. He gets dispossessed at the last possible second by Tyler Rose. Great play by Tyler Rose as he gets it up to Casey Hart, and the long stick midfielder with some momentum finally reverses course at the 25-yard line on the football numbers. Hart goes back in the direction of Brendan Johnston. Johnson, a grad student out of Plymouth, Mass, very sure-handed with the ball in his stick. He looks inside to Ryan Stone. Just 1 goal this afternoon for the team's leading goal scorer with 5 now on the year. He spins off of the Trevor Copy front. Copy back into the goal mouth, but that frees up Banks. Wow, what a great save. That was David Burke, not Banks, pardon me. David Burke vying for his second goal of the afternoon, and a big save by Trevor Copy. Just 3 in the first half, 4 now in this third quarter, and here comes Luke Murphy. Murphy, one-on-one, staring down David Burke, spinning, has the right-handed cradle. Instead decides to pass it over to Gavin Admirand. Admirand, 4 goals already today. He has Jacob Banks out on the left wing. They'll go back central with it to Duroc Fahey. Not a busy night for Fahey, but he does have a goal and an assist to his name, and now the one-on-one opportunity on Kyle Charlotte, who has had his work cut out for him working against Fahey all day. Fahey spins, keeps the right-handed cradle alive. I think he faked the backhand shot there, gives it to Admirand. Gavin Admirand, 4 goals already this afternoon, surveys the scene, has a pass, gets it over to number 29, Zach Mann, who goes up and under, gets it underneath Liam Hill, and that's his first goal of the afternoon. The Beacons up 12-4, and they take their largest lead. 8-goal lead for the Beaks, as the score is now 12-4. Just want to make sure I had that right. It is Zach Mann on the goal. Gavin Admirand with the assist. That's Admirand's second assist of the game or of the season. Coming into action today, Gavin had 4 goals and 1 assist. He has 4 goals and 1 assist today. So Gavin Admirand, have yourself a nice afternoon with that last assist. The senior midfielder attack out of Marshfield, Massachusetts. And that is Zach Mann finding the twine for that most recent goal. He's a 5'10 grad student out of South Hadley, Massachusetts. So for the Beacons, in order, here are your goal scorers so far. Gavin Admirand, Joe Myers. Michael Claflin, Patrick Carey, Gavin Admirand. Then going into the third quarter, Joe Myers again, Admirand again, Duroc Fahey, and Zach Mann both tickling the twine. 12 goals for the Beacons. And I'm trying to do my quick mental math real quick, and it's not going too quick, but 7 different Beacons goal scorers. Nice afternoon for Coach Lau and the boys here, as what looked to be a game that might have been slipping out of the Beacons' grasp is now firmly back in their possession. And Jack Dobrinsky, who has already won 80% of his faceoffs today, back in the faceoff circle, trying to give the ball back to the Beacons, looking to extend their 8-goal lead. Standing across from him, number 26, Stephen Phelps. He's their senior faceoff specialist out of Stamford, Connecticut. Stephen with 4 faceoff wins this afternoon, across from Dobrinsky's 16. So Jack Dobrinsky, the advantage in the face-off circle. Let's see what happens here. In and out, it's going to be a face-off violation against Phelps, so another win for the Beaks on the face-off. And strolling ahead with the ball in his cradle, Gil Del Valle. He has an assist already today. Swings a pass over to Jacob Banks. Banks is really putting his head down and got after it this afternoon. A lot of charging runs from the midfield to open up some space around the crease. Donovan Przinski, he has an assist. Swings it across to Greg Wolf, one of the few players who hasn't registered a point in the stat sheet today. Crossfield pass, and that is a underhand rip from Jacob Banks. He might have heard me being complimentary towards him. That shot not too close to the goal frame, but the Beacons back with it. Back in the deep corner is Gavin Admirand. Surveying the scene is Gavin. He goes back up to Colin Ford. Ford, crossfield to Joe Myers. Myers already with 2, looking to be the third Beacon with a hat trick this afternoon. Ford gets cut off. He spins it back to Banks. Banks working against the top of the Lasell Lasers defense. He gets dispossessed. Przinski comes over, picks it up. Ball is still loose, and it's ultimately Admirand coming back from behind the net. Now he's at the 35-yard line. He cradles it and gets the ball back under control. We're 2/3 of the way through this game. 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Beacons up comfortably, 12-4. We talked about before this game got started. If you hold Lasell under 12, you're sitting pretty. Beacons on pace to do that right now, but their eyes are set on this Lasell goal, trying to extend the lead. Gavin Admirand already with 4 goals today. Back to Michael Claflin. Haven't seen a lot of Claflin. You really haven't needed him so far in this third quarter. But Coach Lau and the Beaks spelling blood here. Here's Colin Ford. Rips a shot that hits the stick of Liam Hill for Liam's 13th save of the afternoon. You can't say he hasn't been busy or he hasn't been tested. Ford with his second shot on goal. Can't get it by him. And once again, the Beacons reset possession. Fresh 60 on the shot clock. Gavin Admirand behind the net. Back around the top of the perimeter here, Michael Claflin. He had 3 goals in a row at the end of the first period. Haven't heard much from him since. Haven't needed to. Miscommunication there is Ford out of position, or I believe, pardon me, that was Przinski out of position. Can't get a stick to the ball. That's a turnover. Ball to Lasell. And now Brendan Johnson's going to restart the show for the Lasers. 3 minutes, 50 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Your UMass Boston Beacons leading comfortably now, 12-4. They scored 4 goals in the first quarter, 4 in the second, have 4 currently in the third, with eyes on more. They allowed 1 goal in the first quarter. They allowed 3 consecutive in the second, but have really battened down all hatches since that point. 14 minutes without a goal for Lasell University. And it's Anthony DeRosa trying to end that streak. We haven't seen Lasell with any set offensive possessions in quite some time, and we're not going to see them with one as another midfield turnover. That pass was intended for Hines from DeRosa. It didn't find either target. Charging in on the play is Luke Murphy, one of the few players to not have a goal or an assist on this Beacons attack yet today. So he's still in there trying to stick his nose into the issue here and open up a play. He lost it, ball back to Lasell. And now we have Liam Hill. We've seen this 3 times already today. He feigned being a ball handling threat, as in he might come in and play the midfield position. Instead, he finally does retreat back to his net. You got to think at this point, the Lasers just really trying to open up that bag of tricks, anything they have to get a good look at net, get a goal, maybe get some momentum back. They're going to throw at the Beacons here. That pass almost intercepted by Justin McCullough. Instead, it does find the Laser intended player, Ryan Stone. He gets it back to Adam Haytayan, but Haytayan caught pretty deep in the corner there before reversing course. He gets it to David Burke. Burke has had the ball a lot in that quarterback spot around the 35-yard line in the midfield. Over to Jordan Hines. Hines, I believe that was a pass intended for Stone. It just went straight to the goalie, Trevor Coppy. And Coppy didn't have that clean of a first half for the Beacons, has really settled in here in the third quarter. Colin Ford past the 2 rushing defenders. He wins the angle, and here come the Beaks, leading by 8, vying for their largest lead of the afternoon. Del Valle's pass, it got by number 15, Patrick Carey, but scooping it up is Michael Claflin. And now Claflin going to let the boys reset. We're under the 2-minute mark here in the third quarter, 1:45 left to go on a running clock. And Michael Claflin out on that left wing there. He seemingly has all the time in the world. As Dara Fahey makes his way back onto the field from the Beacons bench, wind that shot clock down to 39 seconds before they start their offensive look here. Here's Colin Ford. along the left wing. His pass intended for Joe Myers. It made Myers hit the ground, and not a smart play there by Justin McCullough, as the Beacons had a couple of players that could have retreated and got that ball. Instead, McCullough touches it across the timeline. Big save by Trevor Coppy, as Lasell was already down in the offensive end. The 5th save of the quarter for the junior. And we're nearing the 1-minute mark. The Beaks up 8 with the ball. Not anymore. Dispossess on the play. Great on-ball defense from the long stick midi Matt Barron, who has it now off the pass from Tyler Rose, and he quickly pushes it ahead to David Burke. Not a good third quarter for Lasell, but a little bit of momentum coming back for them here in the final seconds of the third. David Burke, he has a goal today. He can't work the wraparound shot. Slides it all the way back to Bash Cunningham, to Brendan Johnson. Around the perimeter they go to Will McCarthy. Haven't heard a lot out of McCarthy yet today as he swings the pass over to DeRosa, who is getting worked on defense by Michael Claflin. How about that defensive effort from the team's leading goal scorer? That pass floated into the middle of the Beacons defense. It got through Coppy, but somehow it did not go over the goal line. That'll be a save. Unfortunately, a penalty award committed by Justin McCullough, so it will stay back with the Lasers, but a huge play. Trevor Coppy really standing on his head all of a sudden for the Beacons. 6 saves in this third quarter after just 3 in the first 3. That pass almost intercepted. It's hauled in by Anthony DeRosa. His shot is blocked, turned away, and I believe that ball is going back to the Beacons. Great ratcheting up on the defensive end for the Beacons, and barring anything tragic as the clock goes down to 5-4, it's going to be a scoreless third quarter for the Lasell Lasers. And no attempt on goal there from Gavin Admiran. But the defense coming to play in the third quarter. 4 goals from the Beacons. Joe Myers with his 2nd of the day. Gavin Admiran his 4th of the day. 1 apiece for Dara Fahey and Zach Mann. And now the Beacons, 15 minutes to go. 15 minutes separating them from a 3-0 record. We will have the 4th and final quarter right after this on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. The score, the UMass Boston Beacons 12. The Lasell University Lasers 4. Fourth quarter when we return. We are back here getting ready for the start of the 4th and final quarter. Your UMass Boston Beacons leading comfortably over the Lasell University Lasers 12-4. The Beacons have mustered 38 shots on goal through the first 3 quarters of this contest, and they don't look to be slowing down here as Jack Dobrinsky wins his 18th face-off of the day. Slides the ball over to Michael Claflin, and here comes the Beacons offense back to work. We flip directions. The Beacons now going right to left on your computer screen. Beacons wearing their home whites with black trim. Lasell in their road navies with Carolina blue trim. On the right wing with it is Donovan Przinski. He has an assist today, has yet to score a goal. Joe Myers, he has 2 goals today, trying to be the 3rd Beacons player with a hat trick. Gets it back to Przinski. Przinski down low to Claflin. Claflin behind the net. Scoops, good save there by Liam Hill as Claflin went low. And Liam Hill, another save for the true freshman, making his first career collegiate start. That's going to be a penalty against the Lasers. And for the first time today, the Beacons will be playing with a man up. Or maybe not, because it looks like coming off on the play is Myers, and so that's going to be a penalty on Joe Myers. I did not see what he did. It looked like with the movement on the field, it was going to be a penalty against the Lasers. But for the 7th time today, the Beacons are playing with a man down. They have only allowed 1 goal in those 6 prior man-up opportunities for Lasell. That was their very first man-up opportunity. They scored a goal off the stick of David Burke. So for the 7th time, The Beacons trying to kill off a penalty. This one committed by Joe Myers. It hasn't been announced yet, so I'm not sure if we were dealing with a 30, 60, or major. But as it is, the Lasers man up, trailing your Beacons by 8, and operating around the perimeter. Jordan Hines. Hines, two-man game between him and David Burke. It's really been Burke, Hines, and DeRosa with the ball for the entirety of this game for the Lasers offense. And they are retreating deep into their own midfield zone. They finally get it over to Burke, who's still very far away from the goal mouth, swarming Beacons defense. It was firing on all cylinders in the third quarter. A shot does get on frame from DeRosa, but he misses wide, and it looks to be answering the bell in the early going of the fourth quarter. And right as I say that, there is a Lasers goal. That's Ryan Stone. That's going to be an unassisted goal as he took that one right inside on Trevor Copy from the restart of play, wrapped it low, and finishes for his second goal of the game. Now, this is kind of what happened at the end of the second quarter. The Beacons scored a goal. They went up 8-1. I myself started writing this game off, like, let's see how much the Beacons win by. And then instead, it was 3 straight goals for the Lasers. Beacons just had a good offensive possession that they did not score a goal on. They get called for a penalty, and they allow a goal. Now, does that open the door back up for some Lasell momentum? Also worth noting, that is the second goal scored on a man-up opportunity for Lasell. Now, 2 out of 7, that's very good for the Beacons, but committing 7 penalties and not drawing any, not good at all for the Beacons. So let's see how that defensive discipline plays out the final 13 minutes of this contest. Here's Liam Hill. He's been ball handling quite a bit. He's just casually strolling with it in a right-handed cradle, and he throws it away. I just no time for that if you're Lasell. You have to try and come back in this game, and I understand using your goalie as a ball handler. It does open up some lanes in the defense, but if he's just going to throw it away at the 45-yard line, why would you even do it? Now, I have nothing else bad to say about Liam Hill because he is playing one heck of a lacrosse game in net, and he's had to stand on his head for his team, but that is his third unforced turnover, and, you know, Coach Dieter Truesdell, he's got more to worry about in this his first season with Lasell. But you got to think, even after the, hey kid, great game today, he's going to get talked to about that play. The Beacons now really have to take advantage of that turnover. They're not treading water by any means, but the momentum more on the side of the Lasers right now. Score 12-5, Beacons up 7, 12-10 left on a running clock. That pass tried to get through the teeth of the defense from Charlie Chapman. No Beacons within reach, and it goes out of bounds over the sideline, not the end line. So that's going to be an unforced turnover for the Beaks. So 2 man-up goals scored in this contest now, both by Lasell. 2 of their 5 goals scored in a man-up opportunity. David Burke scored the first. Ryan Stone scored the second. And now the Beacons, they're just going to let Liam Hill do his thing and go all the way across the 25-yard line. He successfully completes the pass, and now the Lasers going to have to stall as number 9 takes that pleasant jog all the way back across field into his own net. Jordan Hines, he has had the tough task today of just trying to get the ball into the second layer of this Beacons defense. He has had it quite a bit at that midfield spot, and so has David Burke. Right-handed shot from Burke, blocked and saved by Trevor Copy. That quiet first half turned into a very active second half, and Copy has answered the bell. Chad Kidd, 2 assists today, passes it up to Matt Palin. Palin actually got the start this afternoon. Saw him for a couple of plays at the very beginning of the first quarter. Haven't seen much since. That shot ripped on net by Chapman. It misses everything a bit high, but Michael Claflin right there. Still on the field, logging minutes for the Beacons here with their 7-goal lead. Claflin with 3 goals to his name today. Admiran with 4, and around the perimeter they go. Luke Murphy from his midfield spot ducks the head in, decides to reset, gets it back to Zach Mann. Mann with a right-handed cradle, passes it right into the teeth of the defense, and Murphy had a shot on net, but he misses it wide. Liam Hill was there in position, but Luke Murphy, he had a nice opportunity there. He missed the net. Murphy, a junior out of Watertown, Massachusetts, big-bodied player, and he can play on the perimeter or in the trenches. He has it again on the right slot, working out towards the wing, passing it down low to Claflin. Claflin, the delayed shot, he jumped up, tried to get the pass down in low. Great defense on Claflin by Magnus Leonard, but it's picked up by Chapman. Charlie Chapman behind the net now. Reverses course to Gavin Admiran. Admiran, 4 goals this afternoon. Chapman faked the long shot, gets it to the center of the field. Murphy to Claflin. Claflin back to Murphy. Is he going to step into it? Yes, he does, and he misses wide to the left again. But that shot's going to be there for Luke Murphy, it looks like. And I don't think the Beacons have any problems with trying to set up Lucas and getting him a goal for the afternoon. We're 5 minutes into the fourth and final quarter, 10 minutes left in this contest, and that ball turned over by Gavin Admiran, one of the few mistakes he has made all day. Huge collision in the middle of the field. That's number 10, Matt Barron, taking the lick, taking the spill. He hops up. He's all right. Slight limp on his left foot. I mean, he wore that one. It was a big hit delivered by Zach Mann at the midfield. Coming in to spell him, Anthony DeRosa with the puck cradled in his stick. Good second half for Matt Barron. He made a couple of big plays in transition for the Lasers. Make sure he's okay. With it now, David Burke. He scored a goal very early on in the first quarter here, and he's been just testing his luck ever since. Hasn't really been able to put anything on net past Copy. He's going to take on a double team. Tries to force that shot around the double team. He misses everything, pulls the shot to the left. Copy not tested there, but the ball stays in Lasers' possession. Looking at the team numbers, it's been, everything is, I think every possible stat in this contest up to this point has favored the Beacons. All-encompassing lead up to this point as they're still up 7. That one going to be turned over by the Beacons, and I don't know, I think the Lasers might be mentally checked out of this contest. There was something to be had there, a play to be made between DeRosa and Cunningham, and instead the ball just bounced away from Cunningham. He did not even chase after it, turned it over, put his head down, and you can tell this game's going to belong to the Beacons when this final whistle blows. By how much is really the only question at this point. Fahey tried to work a two-man play there between him and Chapman. Ultimately, that's going to keep possession at the Beacon side of the field momentarily. It did go out of bounds, so Tyler Rose resetting with the ball in his stick for the Lasers. But once again, 12-5 is the lead for the Beacons. 8.5 minutes left to go in this contest. The Beacons are out shooting the Lasers 43-26. Only 2 assists on the 5 Lasers goals. 10 assists on the 12 Beacons goals, so only 2 unassisted goals this afternoon for the Beaks. UMass Boston has won 17 of 21 possible faceoffs. Really the only blemish on the team stat sheet for the Beaks, 23 turnovers. Lasell has only committed 20 turnovers. 12 of the 23 turnovers, unforced errors for the Beacons. We have a timeout on the field. I think we might see some wholesale personnel changes here, as we only have 8 minutes left in this contest, so we might see some players normally deeper on the bench getting some action. They'll take a quick break on the field. We'll take a quick break up here. 8:06 left to go in the fourth quarter. Beacons 12, Lasers 5. We are back under the 8-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. 7:59 left to go on a running clock, and the Beacons just trying to tick away the seconds to their third win of the season and a 3-0 start, which is very welcome after the LEC championship they won. Well, how about that? That's a great goal for David Burke. He's been working hard all afternoon, and he celebrates that unassisted goal with a front flip somersault. So let me pull back for a minute, because the Beacons have not scored yet in this fourth quarter, and that is the second goal scored by the Lasell Lasers, and the second goal of the afternoon scored by David Burke. Burke with 2, Haytayan with 2, Stone with 1. Oh, no, pardon me, Stone with 2. So Stone, Burke, and Haytayan, the 3 goal scorers for Lasell, each with 2 goals. And now the Beacons, once again, in a little bit of a lull. They had one of these to end the second quarter. They're having one of them midway through the fourth right now. Who will snap the Beacons out of it? Dara Fahey around the back in the direction of Mike Flynn, seeing him out there for the first time. Over to Donovan Przinski. He's had the ball a lot this second half. Joe Myers, 2 goals this afternoon. Back to Duraf Fahey. He has Gavin Admiran sitting and waiting. Gets it to him on the left wing. In the left slot to Donovan Przinski. Przinski normally down lower in the attack. He's been sliding up in the midfield today. And now ball control, definitely the goal of this possession for the Beacons. Shot clock still at 39. Claflin hops into the offensive end. Fahey fakes the pass to him. Goes to Admiran. Around the perimeter they go. Winding and firing with the shot is Donovan Przinski. It misses high, but right there is Fahey, and he will restart the offense from the back left corner. Quickly resetting it to Claflin. That shot missed everything, so only 23 on the shot clock. It didn't reset. Przinski. Over to Greg Wolf. Behind the net with it, Mike Flynn. Flynn diving. Did he get that shot in? How about that? Mike Flynn just hopping into the action for the Beacons. Well, he took on all possible comers there. No angle whatsoever. He dives, he tickles the twine, and scores. That's awesome. That's exactly what the Beacons needed, and it comes in the form of a player who has only seen action in one of the 2 Beacons games up to this point. Flynn, a junior attackman out of Bellingham, Massachusetts. He tickles the twine, enters the ranks of the Beacons goal scorers today and on the season. And that's exactly what the Beacons needed, because they were giving up a little bit of this game's momentum. It wasn't like the game was in question, but when you have a nice showing like this, you want that final score to replicate it. You want that final score to show kind of the dominance you've had in this game. 13-6 looks a little bit better than 12-6 did. You gotta think the Beacons maybe want to score 1 or 2 more before this game hits its final note. Some substitutions there on the field right now as this play. I'm not quite sure if there was a timeout called after the goal or not. Okay, so the goal counts, and then on top of that, there is going to be a slashing penalty called against Lasell. And so now the Beacons, for the first time today, they scored 13 goals all at even strength. For the first time today, they are playing with a man up. Zach Mann takes a spill. He draws the flag, and I think all of a sudden, now we're going to look at a 2-man up possession for the Beacons. I can't quite tell who's in the penalty box right now for the Lasers, but David Burke, the last Laser goal scorer, he committed that most recent foul right now. So 2 in the box, 2 up for the Beacons. They didn't have any man-up opportunities. Now they are playing 9-on-7. Let's see if they can capitalize. Zach Mann, he has an assist today. He'll walk it in to get it started. Behind the net, they go to Duraf Fahey. Fahey fakes the pass right, goes left to Wolf. Back to the top of the perimeter they go. It's a winding shot from Zach Mann. It got through everybody. It didn't hit anybody. But it's Beacon's ball back behind the net. 69 left on the shot clock. Plenty of time here for the Beacons to develop a chance. They're playing 2-man up. Angled shot from Gavin Admiran finds the net, and they do just that. Take advantage of the man-up opportunity. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. 5 goals this afternoon for Gavin Admiran. He now has 9 on the season to go along with his first assist. Or pardon me, his second assist of the season. It's all Beaks, and it's nice seeing these late goals here to re-extend the lead. Lead is back to 8. That is tied for the largest lead. The Beacons have had an 8-goal lead 2 separate times, have yet to go up by 9, but they lead 14-6 with 5:49 left to go. 20 total goals scored now in this contest, 14 of them by the Beacons. And now Trevor Coppy, first real ball handling test he's had all day today. He works a little 2-man game between him and Patrick Colburn, and that opens up Charlie Chapman down the right sideline. Let's see if Chapman wants to take this one all the way in. The Beacons with a slight numbers advantage here if they do. They will keep it in. So here comes Gavin Admiran with his 5 goals already today. They will work this offensive possession with the personnel on the field. Sliding in is Chapman. Fakes the shot. Spins. Rips. That one's high and missed everything. Good thought there by Charlie Chapman. You can really see him pushing the offensive tempo from that midfield spot. Good thought on the shot. It just missed everything high and wide. Back out top they go, and a calm play around the perimeter. Now you have Fahey with Liam Bowler running the perimeter for this Beacons offense. That's our first look at Bowler today. Sophomore midfielder out of Spencer, Mass. He gets it over to Fahey, who's working deep along the left wing now as he heads into the middle slot. Fakes to get past Kyle Charlotte. Down low to Admiran, almost with his 6th goal of the year. He takes a big hit right in front of the goal frame, and that's going to be a penalty against number 24, Brian Consiglio, for the Lasers. So the Beacons, they took advantage of their one man-up opportunity, 1-for-1 on the afternoon, a chance to go 2-for-2 as Consiglio commits the foul, and the Beacons, 4 minutes and 49 seconds left, another man-up opportunity. Brian Consiglio, a lot of playing time for the Lasers. We haven't seen him a lot today. A senior contributor, and just not a good penalty taken by him on that play. It's going to be a 1-minute penalty for a cross-check, so the Beacons with a full minute here to extend the lead, maybe get their biggest lead of the contest. They've had an 8-goal lead twice. They lead by 8 right now. It's Beacons 14, Lasers 6. Right in the middle of the slot, they will take their biggest lead of the afternoon, as that's big number 20, Michael Claflin, scoring his 4th goal of the day. Gavin Admirand with 5, Michael Claflin with 4, and the Beacons now doing what they needed to do, putting this exclamation point on today's game. They take their largest lead of the afternoon, up 9, 15-6. So Claflin scores. We'll have the assist on that goal momentarily from you. But you know everything's going the Beacons' way because they have switched up their face-off man. Already, it's going to be Jason McEnany in the circle, and he gets the win on the face-off for the Beaks. Patrick McCoy, the long stick midi, picks it up, goes back to McEnany, and here we go. Second unit generating some offense for the Beaks. That one gets all the way inside to Patrick McCoy. His shot misses wide, but the Beaks will get to reset. Maybe trying to get a double-digit lead out here, up 15-6. Fahey, they're going to give him the shot. He decides to go low and wide, misses everything, but Greg Wolf is right there to keep the possession in with the Beaks. If you're just tuning in, it's a 15-6 lead here at Cotter Field for the UMass Boston Beacons. 4 minutes left on a running clock here in the 4th quarter. Good afternoon, Beacons fans. My name's Chris Del Sorda. You've been listening to me all day here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network, and a fun home game to start the action this season. As you see the Beacons up 15-6 with the ball, and really a concerted effort here to try and get another goal and get this double-digit lead, maybe a double-digit win. Creative pass there, got over to Liam Bowler. He doesn't corral it cleanly, but he gets to it in time. He switches to the right-handed cradle, passes it over to Derek Fahey. Fahey back to Charlie Chapman. Now a little two-man game as Fahey goes to the right-handed cradle, passes it off to Colin Ford. Ford fakes back to Fahey. Ford floats in the middle. Instead, Fahey takes it behind the net. Now fakes the shot, goes down low, and he got it. A goal for Derek Fahey as he faked the pass. Then as he was falling over the goal crease, sticks the shot into the top right corner. The second goal of the afternoon for Derek Fahey, and the Beacons lead by 10, their largest lead of the game. They're up 16-6. Gotta feel good. Admirand, Claflin, Fahey, the team's 3 big goal scorers. They score the 3 most recent goals. And with 3 minutes and 18 seconds left, it's just time to enjoy this win. McNeely, he won the faceoff last time. Let's see if he can go 2 in a row for the Beaks here. And he does not. That faceoff is won by Connor Flynn, the Lasers secondary faceoff man. But Flynn runs into some trouble there, blows a tire, and he turns it over. Ball is picked up by Jason McEnany. Looks in the direction of Simon Puro. Now, if that name sounds familiar, Simon Puro, also a member of the Beacons basketball team, getting some playing time right now on the lacrosse pitch as well. Number 19, hard to miss, standing 6'7". He might have it here deep in the left corner. Admirand works his way across, gets it to Puro. Puro back to the middle of the field to number 22, Mike Flynn. Flynn scored a goal, actually, to get the scoring started in this 4th quarter for the Beacons. And I'm not sure what Puro was looking for there, as that pass was in between Banks and McGonigal. Out of bounds off the Beacons. Just their 10th unforced turnover of the afternoon. But their 25th turnover in total. So that's probably going to be a point of emphasis coming up these next few days in practice for head coach Tyler Lau. Charging through the Beacons defense and running in with a shot, that's number 8, Colin Mulhern. The long stick midi forcing the issue. As it looks like we have our first look at a new goalie for the Beacons. It's Otto Kierlees in after Trevor Copy with a strong 3.5 quarters of play for the Beaks. Kierlees, a sophomore from right here in Boston, and he will close this out the remaining 2 minutes. We're under 2 minutes, 1:59 on a running clock. 6 goals scored in total by the Lasers, 16 for the Beacons. They have a 10-goal lead as that shot skips wide. And let's see some communication last second here for the Beacons. They changed their defensive approach. It's going to be Peter Young now fronting the ball carrier, and that is number 27, Ryan Stone. Stone with 2 goals today for the Lasers. Across the field they go. Charging in, this is Anthony DeRosa. Yet to score today, although he does get an assist on that play as Ryan Stone will get himself a hat trick. The 23rd goal of the afternoon, the second goal in the fourth quarter for Ryan Stone. His third of the day. And Lasell gets their score up to 7 this afternoon. We have 90 seconds left in the contest. And UMass Boston still leading by 9, 16-7. But Ryan Stone, we mentioned him before the game started today. 4 goals and 2 assists coming into the action. And didn't really have the ball a lot around the midfield. But when it was behind the net, it was in his stick. He came to play, and he answers the bell with 3 goals for the Lasers. Another turnover by Simon Puro there, a little too fast as he tried to rush the pass over to Owen Gallagher. Gallagher would have had a good look at a shot on net. Instead, it's the 26 Beacons turnover of the afternoon. Probably one of the few things that hasn't gone right for the Beaks today. Liam Hill thought about launching the pass. He does launch the pass and gets it to David Burke. And now David Burke, the high-energy creative midfielder, hands it off to his partner in crime, Jordan Hines. Those two really running the show from that quarterback spot deep along the perimeter. The shot clock and the game clock are matched. We are under the final minute here at Cotter Field. One last charge in order for the Lasers. They trail your Beacons 16-7. Burke slides it over to Stone. Stone, wow, I thought he was going to try and pass it off the back of Kierlees, and instead Kierlees makes the save. I don't think he was even looking at Stone, but his stick was where it needed to be. And now the Beacons, more or less just trying to run out the clock here. They're up 9. Charging ahead with it is Elijah Beasley. He's done a good job moving the ball from defensive zone to offensive zone for the Beaks. Gives it over to Puro. Puro can't handle it cleanly. Scoops it up along the sideline. Now circles back in. They give him some room on the right-handed cradle. He goes cross field. His pass not handled by Gallagher, but Gallagher then fights off the ward, scoops it back up, and he will be called for the penalty. Can't do that. Gallagher a little frustrated as he dropped the pass. He had a shot on net. So the Beacons will end this game having committed 8 penalties and 26 turnovers. And yet, they'll still get themselves a 9-point win. Officially, it's going to be a 30-second penalty on Owen Gallagher, so he will end this game in the sin bin. And let's see if Liam Hill has something planned here or if they're just going to let the clock run down. It actually looks like Liam Hill might be getting spelled. No, he shares a handshake with his defender, Brian Consiglio. Liam Hill, 16 goals scored against him, but he still had himself one heck of an afternoon. He was tested quite a bit. That's going to be a late goal for number 7, David Burke. So 2 different players for Lasell recording the hat tricks. That's the 24th goal of the afternoon. It'll come with a man up, making it 16-8. And that, the 3rd man-up goal for Lasell. The Beacons, they committed 8 penalties today. They were able to kill off 5 of them, but 3 of them result in a goal. 5.8 seconds left. That's probably going to do it. David Burke's 3rd of the afternoon. One last face-off to go through the motions. And the Beacons do not end up winning by 10, but they still double up the Lasell University Lasers. Well, how about that? One last shot on net, because why not? As McNeely wins the faceoff, he got it over to Mike Flynn, who figured, I might take a stab at it, try and get my 2nd goal of the afternoon. He does not. Ball is back in play. And I think that'll do it, and it will. Final score here at Cotter Field, the UMass Boston Beacons 16, the Lasell University Lasers 8. And a great way to start the campaign in 2022 at home for the Beacons. They move to 3-0 with the win. With the loss, Lasell University now 0-4 on the season. But I got to tell you, they have something in that freshman goalie, Liam Hill. We will take a quick break. We'll be right back with the final stats. And we'll look ahead at some more games coming up next weekend, right after this quick break on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. One more time, the final score, Beacons 16, Lasers 8. Real quick wrap up here from Cotter Field as the Beacons are victorious and they move to 3-0 on the season after the 16-8 victory over the Lasell University Lasers. We'll give you a quick scoring summary here, starting from the top. 24 goals scored today. Gavin Admiran scored the first, his 5th of the season, making it 1-0 Beacons. Followed by Joe Myers, making it 2-0 Beacons. David Burke scored next, the 3rd goal of the afternoon, with a man up, unassisted, cutting the Beacons' lead to 1. It was 2-1. Then 3 straight Michael Claflin goals brought the lead up to 5-1, and it was 5-1 at the end of the first period. Patrick Carey, the defender, his first goal of the season on a Matt Palin assist, made it 6-1 Beaks. Then 2 straight goals from Gavin Admiran, giving him a hat trick on the 3rd goal. He had an assist from Chad Kidd and an assist from Derog Fahey. After those 2 goals, the score was 8-1. But then 3 straight goals to end the second quarter for the Lasers. Ryan Stone and then Adam Haytayan with 2 in a row made it 8-4 at halftime. The 3rd quarter, best quarter of the afternoon for the Beacons. They scored 4 straight goals. Joe Meyer scored his 2nd. Gavin Admiran, that was his 4th. Dara Fahey and Zach Mann, and the score was 12-4 as we headed into the 4th and final quarter. 2 goals from Lasell made it a 12-6 game. It kind of made it feel like they might be coming back into it. Ryan Stone with 1, David Burke with another. That was their 2nd each, respectively, in the contest. But then 4 straight Beacons goals put this one out of reach. Mike Flynn, his 1st of the season, making it 13-6. Gavin Admiran, his 5th. With a man up, the 1 man up opportunity the Beacons had, they converted, made the lead 14-6. Clavlin, his 4th goal of the afternoon, 15-6, and then Dara Fahey, his 2nd of the afternoon, 16-6. Final 2 goals are scored by Laser goal scorers Ryan Stone and David Burke, so they each earn a hat trick. 4 hat tricks in total, 2 from the Beaks, 2 from the Lasers. Real quick, we take a look at the side-by-side T comparisons, and everything comes up Beacons. They outscored Lasell 16-8. They out-assisted them 12-3. Good team lacrosse from the Beacons today. 52 shots for the Beaks compared to just 31 for the Lasers. The Beaks win the ground ball advantage. They double up Lasell 37-18. The only thing that they didn't have more of was saves because Liam Hill, one heck of a day, 13 saves on those 52 shots. Trevor Coppy with 10 saves, and then Kierlees came in, Otto Kierlees, and had 2 saves in the final 3 minutes of the contest. Last stat I'll give you, the Beacons win 23 of their 28 faceoffs. We will take a quick look ahead here in Beaconville and some games coming up this afternoon. Or, pardon me, not this afternoon. No more games this afternoon, but some games coming up this weekend. Another game for the Lacrosse boys here at home against the University of New England. I will be on the call for that with you guys at 1 p.m. And then, as we mentioned, the team taking that trip down to Georgetown, Texas. Games on the 15th and the 17th. The game on the 15th against Southwestern U at 8. And the game on the 17th against Hendrix College at 7. And that will do it for us today. An 8-goal win for the Beacons. And we couldn't have brought it to you without our lovely production crew. I definitely would not sound anywhere near as good if I did not have them up in the booth with me. So for Mary Jo Murphy, is this right that we have in the booth right now? Okay, awesome. We Gina and Georgia as well. My name's Christel Sordo, and thank you everybody for tuning in today. We had a lot of fun. I know the Beacons had a lot of fun out on the field. We will be back here at 1 o'clock on Saturday for more lacrosse. Until then, anywhere you go, we ask that you please drive safely and roll beaks.